Attention is being drawn to something Chimaroke said. The unity of this country cannot be guaranteed in a state of injustice. What are the injustices suffered by our people? There must be quite a few of them.
There are quite a few. Chimaroke was right there, and it is a universal belief that there cannot be, if there is no justice, there will be no peace. If there is no peace, there will be no unity. And if there is no unity, there can hardly be development. So they are all tied together. Nigeria is a country run on injustice. And the fear of the Ndigbo man made the other ethnic groups to conspire against Igbo, especially after the Biafra-Nigeria war that ended in January 1970. And we are talking about over 40 years now. So, policies after policies have been designed to make the Igbo become even minority, when indeed it is the largest single ethnic group in the country. For example, the military that took over government and ran government for quite a number of years sat down on a table and redesigned the political structure of Nigeria to undermine the Igbo. In 1963, Nigeria as a republic was run on provincial basis. And then there were 14 provinces in the north and 12 provinces in the eastern region and 9 provinces in the western region of Nigeria. It then means that at that time, while the north had 14 provinces, the south had 21 provinces. That is the 9 from the west added to the 12 from the east. But when the crisis in Nigeria broke out in 1966, by 1967, the northern military junta that had taken control under the leadership of General Gowon, first of all, by military fiat, carved up Nigeria into 12 states, giving the north 6 and the south 6. By that singular action, it had evened up the number of provinces, if you like, that the north had with the south. But they were now called states. And as time went on, the same northern military continued to create more of these states to the extent that as we speak, of Nigeria's 36 states, you have 19 in the north and 17 in the south. And the Abuja Federal Capital Territory, which is also in the northern region geographically, is given the status of a state, being the capital of Nigeria. So you can say effectively that there are 20 states controlled by the north, as against the 17 from the south. So you can see now how over a very short period, the balance had tilted in favor of the north, not by any population explosion or by expansion of its territories, but by executive fiat. They didn't stop there. They created local governments. The whole of the southeast zone, southeast this time, was carved up into 95 local government areas. And the northwest zone, which is supposed to be equal in consideration with the Southeast was carved up into 188 local government areas. Compare it, 188, 95, almost half of that was what was given to the Southeast. The same government now said these local governments are factors to be factored into revenue allocation. So while the Southeast will be getting 95 portions, the Northwest will be getting 188 portions. Nigeria has a total of 774 local governments carved up by that kind of executive fiat, leaving the Igbo people who occupy the Southeast with the least number of local governments. And whenever you are sharing anything, whether it is political office or whatever it is, you begin to put into consideration these political structure that have been designed ostensibly to undermine the Igbo. It's one of the injustices, and it's a very big one for that matter. There are so many of them that one is tempted to begin to consider opting out of Nigeria, because here is a country where equality of citizens is not promoted by government. Now, there are some, like I mentioned earlier in the interview, that you have a place in the north, the Igbo people are known to have settled for over 400 years. But their children are still regarded as non-indigens of those areas. So, in terms of paying school fees, the children of the Igbo are discriminated against. Their parents have to pay higher school fees than those they consider as indigenous. Yet they were there. Igbo people were already settled in those places before some of these people who call themselves indigenous came in. And so on and so forth. Oil is the mainstay of Nigeria's economy. And it is obtained from the south, the Niger Delta area. Of course, part of Southeast is Niger Delta. And the revenue is all carried away to the center for distribution. And it is distributed according to this lopsided political structure. So the people from whose territories you drill the oil get little or nothing, even to protect the environment that has been devastated by pollution. That is what some of us are fighting to see whether we can bring some equity, some justice to play.